through Gudrun's eyes. Hello, it's the 16th of March 2023 and I'm here with Gudrun Fritz. Gudrun is a shaman and a healer, and I'm going to ask a few questions today, and it's today's podcast just to find out a little bit about how Gudrun sees the world. So Gudrun, are you ready?
I'm ready.
First question, tell me, what is a shaman?
So basically a shaman, I would say, is the original, most traditional medicine man. I always explain to people, look at the Native Americans or the Aboriginals or the Indians in the Amazon, the profound healing people, the wise people who are connected to Mother Earth, to the environment around them. They are connected and talking to the water spirit. In shamanism or as a shaman, we are connected to the spirit of what is around us. So basically to the soul of every being. And what is every being? A rock is a being, a plant is a being, a tree is a being, and we now scientifically know that the trees talk to each other through the root system, for example, or have, they not just clear the air, they have so many healing modalities a tree gives you to humanity. Or water, we know the experiment, I think it was this Japanese guy, when you got used to water, how it crystallized different than if you got love to water. So water has a significant spirit, and we should not underestimate the healing and clearing power of water as well. As human, we are 80-90% of water, right? So water is earth, it's the connection, and in shamanism, the shaman, the healer, take everything in consideration. It includes everything. So if you are injured or traumatized, it goes beyond the symptom of a bleeding finger. It goes, why did you injure yourself in the first place? Where's your protection? It includes the guardian angel, if you want to go it in a religious way, with the guardian angels. In shamanism, we take a power animal. There was this program now on BBC, the series, where they kidnapped the kids and stuff, and they went to the other world, and everyone had an animal with them. So this is shamanism on BBC, if you want to take, I think it's something like God something. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, but it was with Ruth Wilson, and she was the evil witch basically, and so all of the characters in the series, they all had their own little animal on the side, and the animals were guiding them, advising them, and protecting them. And if they would take away the animal, the people would lose their energy, and this is how it's in shamanism and in real life. So we have these power animals, this guardian angel, and if they are taken away or they leave us, we have chronic illnesses, we are clumsy, we are fatigued, we are constantly with a cold. So then in the old days, when humanity wasn't in a big city, when we still would live in tribes, so if something happened, the person would go to the wise man or wise woman, and they then do the healing, and they connect also to the higher realm, to the spirit world, to the ancestors, to the archangels, to the Galactic Federation, to all them, to Holy Mary, Jesus Christ, and you truly really can connect to them, and you can connect to your ancestors, and they receive the guidance, of danger, they receive guidance. I mean, the Native Americans, they knew what was coming. long before it was coming. The same is like now in Peru or in the Amazon, the Indians, they knew that the Western culture eventually will catch up with them and destroy their livelihood or their environment. And yeah, that's I think in a nutshell is that shaman in Mongolia, for example, yeah, the lifestyle of the people in Mongolia is shamanic. They are traveling around with their livestock, and they are deeply, profoundly connected to the natural environment, because if not, they wouldn't be able to survive. And so they understand the signs, they listen to the wind has a voice, the rain has a voice, a drought has a voice, the sun has a voice, everything has a soul, a spirit, and the bird, the snake, every animal crossing your path is indirectly a message for you to bring awareness to something in your life. And the shaman is connected to those spirits around them and can therefore receive guidance, healing, protection, and so forth.
That's really fascinating. But the question that now comes to me is, where did shamanism originate from, in your understanding?
So originally they say in Siberia, but no one really knows, and it's in my understanding that they've always been here, basically since humanity existed. So, for example, the Leandergala, the original human, they tried something and then they learned. And my understanding is that the shaman probably ate some funny mushrooms or something, because back then humans didn't know what's poison and what's not. And that's where the connection started. Shamanism, I could strongly believe, originates with the medicine plants, as you say them. So this can be mushroom, cactus, ayahuasca, hemp, consciousness altering plants. They probably tried them and then saw the bigger picture and hence connected deeper to nature. Because if you use medicine plants, everything reveals itself in front of you. So the plant literally got to you, the grass literally got to you. You literally can see the grass growing, the sky, the clouds. Everything all of a sudden literally communicates with you. And that's how I believe, and I'm sure I'm not wrong on that the original of shamanism is a shaman. And then obviously, as with tradition, the older man or the older woman has more wisdom, life experience than the youngster. So it was always more the elderly person who was leading the tribe, right? And in terms of wisdom, of healing, of experience, and it's well documented ceremonies in Egypt as well, where they had the ceremonies to connect to higher spirit. Now, Egypt, for example, or this higher societies in the back days, I believe they even communicated with aliens, and there's another program on Netflix which kind of confirms this theory. And having said that, it doesn't matter because aliens have spirits as well, and so they got the wisdom from the aliens. But the bottom line is that I strongly believe that through the medical plan, through the connection with some conscious alter substances in a natural way, awoke the primitive human brain, make it connect to profoundly to walk around it. And that, I mean, literally feel the beat of Mother Earth, and then through the beat of Mother Earth, they invented the drum, because the voice and the drum are the oldest instruments in human history. So with the drum, they imitated the plate, the beat of the earth, and that grounded people, and through protest they then discovered what medicine, what plants are good for healing, and what weather is good for walk, and so forth, and they connected to the moon circle and the sun circle, and they found their way through the stars, because back then we didn't have light pollution, so you could still navigate your life according to the stars. Yeah, so original they say Siberia, that what the book say. Personally, I believe there have always been a shaman in any tribe around the globe. So that could be Africa, China, India, everywhere, the old US and Australia and so forth. Because traditionally, if you look around the ancient finding, there's always a kind of the wisdom and the healing and the wise person, and those were the people who are the shaman.
That's given quite a clear background, actually, to almost the evolution of shamanism, because obviously you've tried to suggest there that at some point it probably started quite accidentally. Somebody's just eaten something that's triggered some chemical reaction in their brain, which has then connected them to source or a higher power. And you've demonstrated as well how various examples of how shamanism has existed around the world. One other thing that I'd be really interested to understand is that I think there's a lot of misconception about shamanism. I don't know anything myself personally, which is why I'm quite keen to speak to you about it today. But one of the things that triggers sort of a vision in my mind about what a shaman is this misconception that it's all about voodoo and witchcraft and things that perhaps people wouldn't perceive as quite pleasant. And I just think it'd be nice to hear you talk about that and dispel perhaps some of those myths and why people have maybe got that wrong.
Yeah, no, there's a huge misconception, and this is again like everything else in our society, to bad mouth something you don't know, basically something which has been, I mean, shaman have been in history almost been extinct, with the Catholic Church and also in Russia, especially in Russia, but and also witches, like you say witches, but the bottom line is people are scared of the unknown, right? And people are, you see, if I give you a little example, if I have a person who suffers pain and I remove the spirit of their body, right? If I go get my sister, who is a medical, who's a surgeon, a professional doctor, she would put me in a nut house. Yeah? And this is the reality of the perception of what you want to believe. Yeah? And then obviously the propaganda. If you say a woman, like in the old days, they called them witches and burned them, yet they did a lot of good work and healing, yeah. Yet because it was such a miraculous healing, yeah, which they couldn't scientifically prove, yeah. Like, how can you prove that I took out the spirit and that's why he hasn't got any back pain anymore? How can you you can't possibly, yeah. You have just to believe it. So, because they cannot scientifically prove it, it has to be the work of the devil. And then it's obviously like today, the PR propaganda, it's like back then was the Catholic Church or any other religion, and because the church if you go in the Vatican, yeah, they have all the old book of shamanism, the old wisdom of original shamanism hidden away, but obviously they cannot allow that, because then they would lose the control. Because the bottom line is, if people would know how to heal themselves with the power of just connecting to their environment and allow the natural plants and earth, etc., to do their work, then the pharma companies or the church, etc., they would lose their power, yeah, and they would lose the control over people's mind. And that's basically it. Shamanism is a very open-minded, yeah, you connect to everything around you, and you go beyond, you even go beyond the world, yeah, you go into other realms, yeah, which we are possible because we are energy. If you logically, and this is proven, this is even scientifically proven, we are energy, so we are able to light travel or to get out of our so-called material body and step into different worlds. But obviously the big powers don't want that. Now coming back to black magic, to voodoo, bad witchcraft and curse spelling, yes, there are people like that, of course, yeah. Of course there are people who do go spells, but they do the spells on order of other people, if that makes any sense. You know, historically people come, oh, I want this person to marry me and make them marry me, and then they put a love spell on that. This is manipulation right there, right? But yet, this person has the connection, they know what to do, and they have the spiritual power. Now, I'm personally, if I would want to go back, I'm not allowed to. My spirit world does not allow it. There are dark forces around us, and this is the duality we live in. Yeah, you cannot have sunshine without the rain. You can have no day without the night, and this is what it is, yeah. Now you can obviously channelize again and say everyone is a voodoo master, and now can I ask you the question, where did voodoo come from? Well, voodoo was invented through the frugality of slavery, yeah, and that was the only way they could defend themselves. So is voodoo really bad, or is it just self-defense? Yeah? Was it really produced to evil, or to defend a whole nation? So, you know, we have to really consider where it comes from. Witchcraft. Yeah, we can put evil spells, but we are sure whoever put the evil spell will pay for it 10 times, yeah? So you cannot do. You think there is a universal law out there, there is a spiritual law. Even if you do harm, it will haunt you in the long run. Yeah? So be very careful with doing harm, because trust me, you pay either this life or the other life, but you will pay. It will catch up with you. And in my work, I unravel those curtains, so I clear them with love and compassion and this and that. But yeah, that's my work. I clear them out. And in the old days, the understanding was different than today. And yeah, that's it.
That's a really fascinating insight. So I'm understanding that, you know, it's not necessarily an issue of good people versus evil people. What you're trying to say, that there are karmic consequences for not complying with the laws of the universe. So actually, if you're constantly putting out good and love and kindness and doing things that are healing and beneficial to humanity and all that exists around us, then you will get back what you put out. So if you're putting good out, you get good back. And so likewise with evil and spells and wicked, you know, curses on people, obviously that person that casts that will get it back to them tenfold. Yeah. That's quite fascinating. I hadn't realised that before. Okay, so we've talked a lot about shamanism, what it is, what it isn't, where it's originated from, its kind of evolution a little bit as well. and where your stance is on it. You're coming from a love perspective, and you're tapping into that universal energy of love. What do you think the world needs right now?
The world needs right now to let go of the old. I'm so called to offer ancestor lineage healing and right that, because if you think about it, like trauma, everyone, my generation, your generation, and even the newer generation still experience a high level of trauma in terms of upbringing, bullying, getting beaten up, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, etc. Now where does this anger, and even if you can't even say in your personal life, the war still going on, yeah? Massive killing, like unmarked, like a bomb, like, yeah, just mental, right? But where does this come from? This comes from the past, from the unhealed past. Yeah, humanity has been through the existence of humanity in war, in pain, in famine, in scarcity, in oppression, in torture, pain over pain, ever pain, and it just has been passed on to the next generation, the next generation, the next generation, because, like my upbringing, my mom's upbringing was far worse, right? But she passed on what she knew, and so forth. We only can pass on what we know, unless we question what we know, and then we can change the record. But many people don't question, the majority don't question. They are not even aware that what they are doing is actually wrong, because because everyone around them is doing the same thing, right? So they think it's normal to pick up children, it's normal to kick a dog, yeah? For example, or not to be nice to a cat, or or cut the tree, to give a damn, like that kind of stuff. The thing, yeah, everyone else has got it. But it's not normal, and it's not nice, and it's not love, and it's not healthy, and it's not uplifting. It's destructive, and it's destructive to humanity itself, and no one else. Mother Earth never gonna die. And so what humanity needs is the ancestor lineage healing. It's like a past life healing. It's like healing human history. Literally. Like really literally. I do that with some clients I have, and I literally go back to the original origin of the lineage and can heal the whole lineage. And they can include, I call like slavery, curses, custody, murder, robbery, rape, all this needs healing. And it can be done, and it's not a difficult thing. And shamans, they can help you. There are other energy healers, light code healers. There are a lot of people who can help you with healing the ancestor lineage. It's not just your past or your mom's past. No, go really, really back. And why do we need that? So we can leave the heavy burden of this ugly traumas and pain and suffering behind and rise up to the next dimension. And we are asked to do that. We are asked to bring awareness. And you also can do mindset work by really bringing awareness into your thoughts and reprogram, which is quite a job, but it can be done. So that's why I recommend healing first and then the mindset work. Having said that, this is what we as humanity, as here on this planet, are asked now to heal the human past in order for us to really move forward with peace, abundance, light, love, joy, and happiness.
Listening to what you've described there, a real clear vision of the world being severely imbalanced. The human spirit, humankind, we're quite imbalanced, aren't we? We've gone from one extreme to another. I mean, I don't know how we started off, whether we potentially in the beginning of time started off as loving beings that were kind of, then suddenly over time we've evolved and become a bit greedier, a bit more self-centered, and as time's gone on we've just tipped the balance to becoming now what we see today, where everything's exploitative. We exploit other human beings, there's no love, it's all about greed, money and power. And do you think that we're at a point in our history where that balance might be tipping? Like we hear a lot recently about spiritual awakening, people waking up, starting to see the government reality and all these sorts of things for what it really is, the illusions that we've created. What's your view on that and that balance and tipping of that balance?
I think that the origin of the ego, which is the greed and wanting more, is when we start to settle down, right? When we start to have our own land, our own house, and get where it started. And I think, to fight, I think it's a natural way in a way. I mean, if you look at the animal world, yeah? Lion fight with lion over food, yeah? Elephant, defend their children for predators. So it's not that nature is cruel, free per se, right? But there's a natural way and there's an unnatural way, and we have reached well beyond their natural way, right? I mean, we gone berserk, if you think about it. I mean, with all the bombing, how many people get killed in just one bomb, how many children lose their, it's just sick. Now, I mean, losing the balance. It's a good question, and to be honest, sometimes I think we do, and sometimes I think there's still hope, right? And you say people are awakening, and then you see something like a viral story where you think, are people really awake? You know what I mean? It's like, are you for real, guys? So I think it really depends on humanity itself, and then there's the other vision that we have parallel universe. Yeah, so okay, we are now in the fourth dimension, yeah, we're in between, where we still have people in the third dimension, and some people already lifting up to 5th, 7th, 8th, we have a lot of people well above the 5th dimension. And then you have those people who are stuck in that so-called matrix, in the system, in this illusion, right? But then this is just one universe. And then there's the universe where we already are in the 5th dimension. And then there's the universe just in the 3rd dimension. And you understand? So there are, in reality, because again, we are all energy, and these are just different levels of reality, right? And my thought is just like, as a single person, you cannot save humanity. You can save yourself and those around you. You can do what you can do. I think it's important to wake up. I think it's very... And I'm not meaning waking up and meditate and feel the light up shining from your crown chakra and connect. No, this I don't mean. I mean by waking up, not throwing your McDonald's bag out of the car in the nature. By waking up, I mean don't throw your beer cans into nature. By waking up, I mean don't cut trees without a reason. By waking up, I mean respect what's around you. This is all what needs to be done. There is no, let's hours meditation to find enlightenment. Enlightenment is right in front of you. Treat your environment, your plants, your animals, your children. Your children, the next generation, they are like children, people. So every baby coming now, they are special souls. They are here to save humanity. But if you want to save humanity, then you have to really reconnect to your environment. And this means even to find out how you grow your tomato and your chili pepper and your cucumber and work with the land rather to explore the land, you know. The other day, you see people, they really, you know, the meat industry, the biggest polluter, one of the biggest polluter, yeah, and no one talks about it, but it's one of the biggest polluter we have and destroys a lot of forests. So people say, okay, change to plant food, yeah, like plant diet. Now they grow in miles and miles and square meters of monocultured vegetable, right? Whereby we originally know monoculture is the biggest threat to Mother Earth. So you can't win. Again, humanity, even though we change now from meat to plant, which is a good thing, to destroy again the soil. So that's what I mean. You know we have the knowledge as humans. We have the knowledge how to grow different plants together and have a good harvest and to feed without destroying Mother Earth. This is, you know, and this can save humanity. Coming back to the fundamental knowledge of living together with Mother Earth. You don't need to be a doctor for that. You don't need to go meditation, yoga. You don't even need to go running or bring mindset to it. You know, it's just common, fundamental, instinctive knowledge. We humans are still in the animal world per se, and we are part of the whole of Mother Earth. And when we learn again to appreciate and grow our food healthy and live with Mother Earth, everything else will fall into place. Because along the connection you're working with soil and be grounded in the outside will reconnect you to your true meaning.
So we were talking about balance, and it would seem to me, you know, obviously there's common themes of like yin and yang. There's always balance somewhere in the universe, and actually it would maybe be right to think that there's probably always going to be bad, good in everybody and everything. So what I would be keen to try and understand is, will it always be like that? Is it supposed to be that way? Are we supposed to tip towards being good? You know, I've learned across my spiritual journey that the whole point of our existence is to learn love, and that would suggest that actually we're quite a long way off from that. I mean, I don't know, what do you think from a shamanic point of view?
Well, first of all, we need to look into the concept of good and bad. How do you define good and what is bad? How do you define it? Who is defining good and bad in the first place? Right? I mean, this is the most important thing. We attach emotions to things, yeah? To thoughts, to events, right? So, for example, you lose your job, you think, hell, that's bad. But then you get a better job, or you find the opportunity of self-employment, yeah? So, was it really bad? Or was it a sign of good? And then again, or is it just what it is? So in a high spiritual realm, we just say it is what it is. We're gonna catch good or bad. Now I'll give you another example, for example, if because of the balance yin and yang. Now you have a lion. A lion needs to kill to feed himself, right? From a human perspective, he's a massive killer motherfucker, right? Yeah, it is really evil how he kills and plays with the prey, right? But yet it's a natural thing he has to do to survive. Now is it really good or bad? It's what it is. It's natural, right? Another example, the fruit when they invaded Baghdad, yeah, in 2001, I think it was, right? Or something like that. And they bombed all Iraq without no specific reason. Me personally, it's pure evil, right? And then you have the earthquake in Turkey, which is shocking, but it's a natural event. So we really have, what I think, what it is, yes, we are having to go towards love and compassion, and we are aiming to go into a peaceful world. Yeah, but that doesn't mean there is no killing involved anymore. Because we have, like the lion sometimes to kill to survive, or we are, like the earthquake, are killed by Mother Nature. Because if not, it's a natural selection, right? I know I can hear people screaming, "Oh, if that was your child or your mother, you wouldn't." I would be sad, but then again, it's a natural thing. Death is part of life. Life is part of death. We cannot live without dying, and we cannot die without living. Yeah, this is just the circle of life. Like a lion has to kill his prey, and then some other lion will kill him to get his female. Yeah, this is natural, universal law. Like what comes up has to come down. What you put out, you're gonna get back. Yeah, reaction, action, reaction. These are universal law which we cannot break, no matter how much we are involving spiritually. Now, the thing about love and compassion, I truly believe it's very inhuman. And that's where I think, that massive killing with bombs, any war is unnecessary. There's no need. There's simply no need for it. Or, this is, for me, this is the dark side, but then again, it's a reflection of who we are and how we think, and that's how they control us. You see, if you watch the news and you watch the war and the fear and the anger, you create more war and fear and anger frequently around you. And therefore more war and killing and famine will happen because you are engaging with the frequency and you give the frequency more power. Hence, you will see more war on your TV screen. Yeah, even if you're not involved in the war. Now, how can we change that? Turn off your TV. Don't get involved. Be grateful where you are. Connect to Mother Nature. Go for a walk. You live in a city, get a park. Even if you can't have a park, go around the block. Yeah, all is better. Say hello to the elderly lady. To get a stop with all the traffic to let an old lady cross the road. Why can you not do that? I see sometimes I drive and I see a fat man crossing the road in front of my car, not moving. I stop my car. I don't care. I'm not going to kill the bird, right? But there are many people who don't care and they kill a bird. And this is the difference. This is the difference of respecting what's around you and being aware. And the same with government. Governments are corrupt and evil and whatever, but then don't give them any attention. Yeah, turn off your TV. Watch a love story if you want to watch TV. Watch a documentary which gets you something. Read a joyful book. Yeah, why would you? You see, people don't like war, yet everyone watches war. And really like, oh, there's the war, and what's happening, and it's coming here, and in the end, everyone gets involved in the war. Taking side. Oh, he started it, and get inside, and then you could create the energy, and then you create more war, because you give them the energy, you give the media the reason to broadcast war. You give the media the reason to broadcast suffering. Like charity is the biggest ripple. Sorry, not everyone, but, they're making advertisement out of suffering. The CEO of the charity makes huge amount of money, and the people who actually suffer get 5% of the donation. And this is a fact. I used to work for charity. Yeah, this is, so this where we have to focus. There will always be a killing. There will always be death. There will always be natural disaster. Because this is natural. This is nature. This is, humanity has to grow with this. We're giving respecting nature. Now, earthquake happened, but you built the wrong house on top of that earthquake. Yeah? Which was happening in Turkey. Big corruption case. So is it not the fault of Mother Nature, or is it your fault who got corrupted? Yeah? And we really have to really think what is really going on here, and are we willing to participate in the drama? Because if you create the drama, you participate in the drama, there will be more drama. And that's where the balance will become imbalanced, like it seems to be happening today on Earth, right? Can there be alternative? I think there always will be a balance, in a sense, like day and night, dark and light, and I think it is necessary in order to be grounded, to stay grounded, to see reality, to be connected to our environment and the diseases and disasters around us. Having said that, we have the power to stop war. We have the power to stop hunger. We have the power to create world peace. And then everything will fall into place. We have the power to make the desert green so we all can eat. We have the power and the knowledge and technology to preserve the oceans, the rivers, and our energy we use. So we should dip into this, in the knowledge we have, and really stop giving the energy of fear, anger, and oppression any more of our time. And the moment we stop giving them our attention, it will shift. And every one of us, every single person can do their bit by just turning off the news, by not going to vote. Imagine there's an election and no one goes to vote, like literally no one. Right? Like even with the energy prices now, we know they're making $1 billion profit, the so-called crisis. Now imagine everyone would stick together, like literally everyone, and not pay their bills. I'm not saying don't pay your bill, in a sense like, but this is corrupt, and this is what we have to fight together in a peaceful way. Just don't give them your time and energy. And then you will have a natural balance of death and birth, of natural disaster, destruction, and rebuilding. Like a volcano. All the lava comes out. When the lava dries, it's a fertile soil. Every fire burns everything down. And the ash is fertile soil. It rebuilds itself, Sometimes something has to go so it can rebuild better. As human, we need to really focus what matters. And again, I keep, in healing the ancestors to eliminate this anger and fear and oppression energy, which has been passed on over generations. And the second point is to really reconnect to nature. Grow your own food. Put your fingers in the soil. Go barefoot. And you will feel the difference. Be compassionate. Let the old lady cross the road. Don't kill the bird. Let him cross the road. Be aware of what's around you. Be kind to the beings around you.
There's quite a bit to unpack there, and that does kind of fit with a lot of my understanding of reality as well. So, it's almost like collectively we manifest our reality based on what we focus on, and the media gives us that focus, and we feed that vibrational energy, which in turn feeds the reality that we see. So essentially, we're energy in a body. And so what happens to our body is kind of inconsequential when you consider that we exist beyond this body, and then when we die we exist elsewhere. And this is just like dropping our clothes off, changing our clothes, getting changed into another outfit. That's essentially what our body is, isn't it? And I feel like the earth plane is a place to learn, and actually everything life throws at us is a lesson or an opportunity. And when you think about it that way, a lot of the bad in the world are things that people choose to do. There's a choice behind absolutely everything. I can choose to harm that bird that you talked about. I can choose not to. I can just let it live, carry on with its business. There's a lot of greed, there's a lot of power struggle in the world, people with big egos that want to be in power and in control. They believe they know what's right for humanity and whatever else. And that's just a natural part of it. And I suppose part of our evolutionary process is to tame our ego so that we can develop and move towards progress and bringing that balance into a better place. And like you say, natural occurrences of death would be more likely instead of the unnatural. When you think of a lot of the disease, it's probably propagated by the modern way we live, pollution in the air, additives, toxins in food, all that sort of thing. And it's kind of no wonder that we're in this state that we are. And actually, if we stripped all that back and chose to do better, we'd have less means of dying and everything else. It would just be the natural disasters, and actually then we would perhaps choose not to go and build a house right next to a volcano or a place that we know is prone to tornadoes or earthquakes and things like that, and we may have a better chance. But the thing is, society's created such restrictive, like I can't just go over the road there and build a house on that nice little plot of land, and so we're very controlled, and it's almost like we need to break away from that. So we were talking earlier off the microphone about so you're from Austria, people might have picked up on the accent. We were talking about when you first came to England and to London, and what that experience was like, how that really opened your eyes.
Oh yeah, London is so fascinating.
And we talked a little bit about how some of your shamanic experiences, what led you to that. So I just wonder if you might want to go into a little bit more of that.
What I loved about London was like that literally every country of the world was represented and people lived together in peace. And I always wondered why, and the plain fact is that the authority, the royal family and the upper British class, keep them in a level of existence that they have no other choice to think otherwise. In the sense that you are, when I arrived, I was absolutely shocked how people live in Britain. You see abroad, you see the Queen back then, she was still alive. Queen, the royal family, the golden, the glamour, the richness, Burberry, Barber, I don't know, the Oxford Greek, everything rich, and you really come to Britain thinking you have golden milk and honey everywhere, right? And then you live in a little box where you have to put coins in to have hot water, right? And then you book on a salary where literally just can pay your rent and bills. And this what keeps people quiet, and what I was shocked as well in London, the mentality that, like you said, it's been generation and generation of oppression and people getting so used to it, and then you see people thousands queuing up to see the Queen, right? And that's where I wonder, so if you worship, it's like Stockholm Syndrome almost. I think humanity suffers from Stockholm Syndrome. That's it. That's now I got it. I think humanity in overall general, because it doesn't matter if you worship the Queen or Beyonce or Rihanna, yeah? It doesn't really matter. You worship someone else instead of yourself, right? And then it's like, and those people taking your money and get taken. what I mean? It's like, what the queen ever did? Did she throw money to you or give you? No, she gave you money, right? And what got me on here? Okay, she cooked a good show, fair enough, yeah. But really, do I have to pay 200, 300 pounds for a gig? Are you for real? You know, I listen to the radio. But anyway, this need for a leader, this need to follow someone. And I think in the spiritual world as well, people need to have a guru. I don't know if you know the very famous Mojo Rusterman. He's very famous with Eckhart Tolle, you know, high enlightened. Well, let me tell you, in 1998, I met Mojo in Brixton Market. He was selling incense. And he was selling Kenachamba incense, and they were my favorite, and that's how we got talking. And then I ended up talking with him in his flat. He was living in Brixton Hill, and we were making Jamaican soup, and we were philosophing about the universe, and the meaning, and about the nothingness which you want to achieve. Meaning you don't follow any thought, you just watch the thought, the nothingness, the empty space which we can achieve, like in the Matrix, the movie, when he shows the empty space and then he downloads the program. This empty space exists, by the way. I experienced it a couple of times. So this is a real thing, yeah? So this is not a lie. But yeah, so this Mojo, and I met him, and back then I wasn't in my best shape. I was quite lost, but he helped me a lot through talking, and eventually I went off to Brazil, and in the meantime he became famous, and when I came back to London, I went to one of his meetings, right? And then you saw this many people just like, worshipping him, right? Like, oh my God, you're like God. And I'm like, yo, mate, I ate soup with you. We were talking that shit together a couple of years. You know why? You know, and this is the sadness of people that need a leader. You're gonna need a leader. No one needs a leader. You have the knowledge in you. Yes, you can ask someone. You can listen to someone. The mind trigger your way of thinking or different, get ideas. I'm not saying don't, you know. We all learning from others. But you don't need a leader. You don't need to pay someone to talk to you about the nothingness in space. No, you just need to sit quiet and be quiet. And people are scared to be quiet. People are scared to think, because, oh, I have to go, I have to go, I have to go, I can't think, I have to cook it, I have to write it, I have to call, I have to walk, I have to whatever. No, you can't. Your life purpose is not going, it's being.
So, what was it that actually led you into being a shaman? Was it something you fell into? Did you discover it? You know, how did that come about? So you've moved from Austria. I don't know if it happened whilst you were in Austria, whether it was something that when you look back retrospectively, you feel like, oh yeah, that was something that was in me as a child. How would you explain that?
In Austria, I grew up with nature, with animals. I had horses, dogs, cats. I brought all kind of animals home. I grew up in the forest, playing in the river. Honestly, my childhood was massively wonderful in that aspect. And then I got cutting down trees, and I got really sad about it, or I had to give away my animals, which broke my heart, and it's reality, and I got bullied. And I grew up Catholic, but I never believed in the church and in God. And I had some problems in my childhood, and I started to drink when I was 16. When I was 18, I started my first A-class drugs, and then I dropped out of school, got back in school, and I finally manage to complete my school, and I needed to get away from Austria for my own sake. I was a bit suicidal. I didn't believe in any God or guidance or anything. I had an LSD trip and did somehow realize how the reality really is, in the sense of the difference of the illusion and, the reality we are. The illusion of you have to work hard versus enjoy your life and everything will be fine, So. And then I moved to London to study, and I was a massive blamer and complainer, and I ended up in a really bad drug circle where I almost died. And but what I rediscovered during the time was that there's someone looking out for me. So there were many moments where I was really in a very bad situation, and I was helpless there, my life was saved, and so forth. So that's where I started to reconnect to kind of spirituality. I remember one scene, I was literally on my knees crying. I had no money, nothing, no food, nothing. And that's already 3 days or something, and I was hungry. It was really bad. I was on my knees crying, and then all of a sudden, some friends from Austria knocked on the door and invited me for food and gave me some money. So there was something there, but I couldn't really put my finger onto it. And then I moved to Brazil, and there I met a lady who did macumba, which is kind of the Brazilian version of voodoo in a way. And I was fascinated and played around with macumba a bit, I just wanted to see if it worked. And also they have this San Domain, I think it's called, basically it's the ayahuasca church there. So we did an ayahuasca ceremony there as well, so this was awakening in many ways. And then I came back to the UK, and I still because my marriage broke down, I had another reason to complain and blame everyone. And I was carrying this dark cloud over my head. And then my best friend, she was a Reiki master, and she removed it, and that was really great. And then she was not because of me, but months year later, she was diagnosed with 2 brain tumors, and that was my wake-up call in a way that I have to do something. Now, how I got then in the end to a shamanic way, it was like, I started first to the whole thing, mindset thing, yoga, focus, being present, go climbing, meditation, all this, reading books like The Power of Now and all this, which was really clarifying and explanatory to me why I am who I am, and the pain body, but there was no solution on how to heal that, how to control my subconscious, because I had some subconscious behavior patterns which were destroying my life in many ways, in reactions. And there was one moment where I completely lost it in a bar, and it was like literally my energy body was coming out of my body, and I was extremely loud and things. I was drunk, but I was really ashamed, like profoundly ashamed. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I was constantly financially broken. I had no meaning in my life. Even though I did all this medication, I did not move forward. And then my spirit guide, my spiritual friend, she's now 86 years old in Austria, she said, look for a shaman. So I googled it, and funny enough, there was a shamanic practitioner just up my road. I booked an appointment. She did a healing, a soul retrieval, and a power animal retrieval. And then I asked the question, because I had throughout my life many near-death experiences. So I asked her, can I practice? Can I become a shamanic healer? And the answer was yes. And that was the beginning of my path. And then she invited me to the initial workshop in London, and I went there. And why I really started to believe was simply, he said, okay, you connect to your spirit guide, and you're gonna get to the drum, and you're gonna experience real ecstasy. And I was just smiling at him like, yo, mate, I took so many ecstasy in my life. I know what a proper ecstasy is and how to party. How I gonna hear? Never. Okay, and then he played the drum, the spirit entered me, and oh my God. No, not one ecstasy pill is as good as that. And what throughout my life, I always hear I done psychedelic drugs and different drugs, and they open channels in your brain, right? They open some parts of your brain you usually don't use. And I wanted to find a way to get this type of consciousness without having to take anything. And when I had this dance moment, like, which was so much better than any ecstasy drug I ever taken in my whole entire life. And this was maybe a half an hour or an hour full dancing. When I had this moment, I said, yeah, that's where I have to go. And then I did the workshop of the drum, and then that was it, me and my drum, there was no stopping that. And I did a couple of workshops, and through the workshop I learned healing, and now I'm still training with Michelle in New Mexico. And yeah, that's it. And since July last year, I really feel like this is what I'm here for. I see how I can help people, I see the results. And there's nothing more rewarding in life than when you see in front of your eyes people's life changing to the better, and where they find themselves again. And that's what the beauty in shamanism is, to really reconnect to who you really are.
I notice it's quite common that people that become quite spiritual or healers or psychic, that do things that helps other people, have come from a place of heavy adversity. And that's the same for myself as well. And it's almost like that expression that says, you know, you might think you've been buried, but you haven't been buried. You've been planted. And so from that you grow. And so it's from the darkness and the adversity, the wind, the rain, anything that, you know, causes disruption, or what appears to be disruption in our life, is essentially what is moulding us. For example, diamonds, it's intense pressure over such a long period of time that crushes down the carbon and everything else to eventually create this diamond. And it's that intense pressure that's, you know, kind of made us the people that we are. We've gone through all of that difficulty, and it sounds a bit cliche, but that sounds exactly like what's happened to you, really. You've had to go through that adversity to get to a point where you suddenly realise there's more to life and what I've been doing. But those things have also made you the strong person that you are as well. But I just want to clarify that it's not like you've just suddenly decided, oh yeah, I'm going to be a shaman. That's not how it happened at all, from what I've heard you explain before. It's been a very gradual, and earlier you were telling me when we were talking that it wasn't that you decided to become a shaman, it was more that you chose to accept that actually this appears to be what I am.
They say like you cannot become, you cannot learn to be a shaman. That's what they say. The shamanic community is telling you you are a shaman. And only when my teacher said the other day, you are a shaman, I said, okay. Then I really accepted that. Yeah, like it was like, I don't know, a few months ago. She said it. You know, we had a bit of a break because of my financial reasons, and and then I restarted my training. In the meantime, I used what I really knew, but the beauty, I remember when I had the initiation, the lady who did the healing for me, she was there as well, and I was introduced to some spirit guides, and she said to me, now you have everything you need. And I didn't understand that, of course, like, well, you say I know free spirits, now I can walk up be a healer. But the truth is, throughout I learned some techniques and what to do and this and that. But every person is different, and now I understand when she said that's all what you need. It's like you just have to ask the spirit, and then help will come, or the spirit will guide me to do the work, whatever work needs to be done. But in order to do that, you need to be connected. And no, it's not. You cannot, I hear people saying, I'm a shaman, I'm a this and that. Are you really? Are you really? I'm not officially say I'm a shaman, like in a sense. I say I'm a shamanic practitioner or I'm a shamanic healer, right? A shaman for me is like, my teacher is like, she's a shaman. They do like this massive, profound ceremonies. They've been doing the work for centuries almost, It's like a pass-on thing rather than you can become. You cannot go to university and become a shaman. It's something that's passed on. How, I don't really understand. But I just see the work I'm doing, the response I'm getting, the environment around me. I had like every night now I have an oil spinning to me and the birds talking to me, and this is what shows me that is the work I need to do. Now, you want to call me shaman, shamanic healer, shamanic practitioner, healer, I don't know, it's just, you say potato, I say tomato, I say garlic, you say onion, right? The bottom line is, I think I have a certain calling, if you want to say. It's almost like a calling to do the work I'm doing. I'm completely passionate about it. I literally can talk 2 or 3 hours about it, if you allow me, and I cook it free and bake, and I just find it fascinating, the whole work beyond. But to come back to your question, no, you cannot call yourself a shaman. The rule is the shamanic community, the elderly, the wise ones, those will call you shaman. And until then, you're a shamanic practitioner. And yeah, my journey, the shamanic path, started in 2012 when I had my initiation with the Crazy Gang. I had a lot of training. I had intensive training. I have the spirit of the drum, divination training, soul retriever, power animal, which are different modalities a shamanic practitioner uses to help. And it started in 2012, and over the last 10 years, I did training, I did healing, but I felt humbled. To be honest, I saw the results, I saw the changes in people or animals I help. I saw it, but yet I did never feel confident enough. Okay, here I am, put me out there basically. I was hiding in my living room, and if a friend needed help, I did healing, or I went up the hamster key to do some drumming for the earth, or my mom's dog, or things like that, but it was never official. The reason simply we live in a certificate society. You need to have a diploma for this, and you need to have a diploma for that, and yada. And I did not do my 3 years apprenticeship purely because financially I wasn't able. And then in July last year, I get a clarity call with a healer myself, and she said, you know what, the spiritual rehab doesn't care about certificate. You have a gift. You need to go out there and help. And that's when I said, okay, here I am. And I offered, and yeah, I don't want to show off. I'm very humbled with that, and I really want to explain that to the audience. It's not me who got the healing per se. Okay, I want to be very, very, very clear about that. I'm the middleman between you and the spirit world. And I'm tuned into the spirit world, and the spirit take my spirit, and we go the healing work together. But I'm not the single person who got the healing. I have my spirit who guide me, and I have spirit to help me to transcend the death. I have spirit to help me to bring your souls back. I have my power animals helping me to bring your power animals back. I have a spirit to help me to remove the energy. I have spirit protecting me if I do a curse unraveling. So I'm not I'm the humble middleman chosen by the other rehabs and spirit work to be the middleman, allowing to do the work to take part. And do that with the power of the drum and my voice. That's how I connect. And this is it. And so yeah, this is the work. And I'm cool. That's why I'm gonna like to, a shaman. I am in a sense. I understand the shamanic concept completely, and I see the fairies again, and I see the gnomes, and this is what shamanism is about. That you see beyond what the eye can see. That you feel beyond what you can feel. That you are not scared to go beyond what's given to you.
That's really fascinating. Thank you so much for being here today and just sharing your experience. It's really opened up my eyes and taken away so many preconceptions that I had. So there you have it, people. That's a modern day shamanic practitioner. I think I may have said it wrong in the beginning and actually called you a shaman, but that was my ignorance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor, and thank you.